Those video clips were what we call 통성기도 in Korean. It's when everyone prays out loud together. And that's the type of prayer style I grew up with. And for the first half of my ministerial career, that's the way we did prayer meetings, because that's how we Koreans prayed. We gathered a lot of times during what we call 새벽기도, which is early morning prayer, and usually these happens right before people go to work. So maybe 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning, people will gather and you just let everything out as you pray. And so though that was the mentality, that was the image of how to pray that was welded in my mind as I was growing up. And I also grew up as a pastor's kid, and in my family, we emphasized the need of prayer. I mean, my dad exemplified what it meant to pray. The first thing you do is pray. When you're happy, you pray. When you're sad, you pray. When you cry, you pray. When you're successful, you pray. When you fail, you pray. Everything has to be done in prayer first and foremost. And like I said, not only did he tell us that, but he modeled that. Like, my dad will go to early morning prayer every day. He'd be at church by 4:30 in the morning, and then sometimes he will leave at home around 9 p.m. to go pray at church. Like, if my dad wasn't at home, it was because he was at church praying. On paper, the discipline of prayer seems like a very simple and easy thing to do. But it's a whole different level of difficulty when we try to practice the discipline of prayer. One of the biggest reasons why we don't pray is because we're too busy. I think Bill Hybels once said, if you're too busy to pray, you're too busy. And for me, being intentional about prayer has been oftentimes a bit difficult. Every morning when I go to church, I would try to start my workday off on the right foot with prayer. And more often than not, I'm not as successful as I would like to be. Knowing to start the day with prayer is a different thing than actually starting the day off with prayer. Knowing and doing are two different things, and a lot of times I think I settle for knowing rather than doing. So like when I get to my office, I see the phone blinking. There's a message waiting for me, or I open my computer and there's all these emails that I need to tend to, or the office seems extremely cold today, or there's just too much books and clutter on my desk, or I think I just saw a spider at the corner of my desk. I know that I should ignore all these things first and foremost and just start off with prayer, but my mind gets the best of me, and I'm like, well, I wonder if there's an actual important urgent message on that voicemail. So I check the voicemail, or let me just get through some of these emails first and foremost, and then I can ease my mind to pray. Or, hey, where's my sweater? The office is a little bit too cold. Or let me clear off my desk for a minute. And I'm like, oh wait, the book must be on my desk for a reason. I wonder why I left this book on my desk for. And so I start reading that. Or, I do see that spider, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming back here again. The office can belong to the spider, so I'm out. And then the next thing you know, half the day has gone doing all these mindless things that I need to do. And I'm like, shoot, I forgot to start the day off in prayer again. And life in quarantine has made it even more difficult to be intentional about my prayer life, because all the days and all the schedules just seem to be merging into one long, never-ending day. And so trying to find times to be intentional about prayer has been easier said than done. And surely, I can't be the only one who struggles with the discipline of prayer. Please tell me that I'm not the only one who struggles with having an intentional prayer life. And then however shocking and embarrassing it might be for us to admit, it does become very easy to go on with our lives without praying. And I know in my heart of hearts that if I'm too busy to pray, I'm just simply too busy. And I need to sit back and reprioritize my life so that prayer becomes first and foremost in my priority. And so what I wanted to do is, starting tomorrow, I'm going to do a 4 series of videos called Practical Prayer. And the first video drops tomorrow, and then the second video the following week. And so for the next 4 weeks, I want to talk about prayer. I want to talk about practical prayer, and I want to talk about being intentional in prayer. I don't know if I can offer you any new insights about prayer. In fact, I'm pretty certain that there are some insights that you can offer me about prayer. But my biggest hope is that throughout the next 4 weeks, we discover the importance of prayer, just how necessary, how vital, how important prayer is in our everyday lives. I mean, I already know that you know that, but again, knowing and doing, knowing and practicing are two different things. And I want to help us, especially myself, move from knowing into actually doing. So may prayer continue to be a big part, a vital part, an important part of your life. See you tomorrow. Peace.